let's take a deep breath in preparation for Heaven's Cross. What we're coming to now is a destiny, is your destiny. But this destiny isn't scripted out by other beings somewhere else. This destiny isn't mandated by some god or gods. This destiny is not necessarily even part of any group effort. This is your destiny. This is something that you chose a long time ago, and you've continued to choose it over and over. The destiny of being here on the planet in the human form. It's almost like a coding that you gave yourself. That will guide you to here safely. That will guide you to this very point of Heaven's Cross. There was times when you almost did everything you could to stray away from that destiny or to avoid it, but that coding of energy brought you right back here. Right in line, ready for Heaven's Cross. And here we are. I ask you to feel into that chosen destiny of yours, going back thousands, tens of thousands of years, all the way back to the times of Atlantis. A chosen destiny. Nothing dictated to you from the outside, but one that you and your soul chose. Take a good deep breath. Your soul's destiny to be here. None of this was a mistake, although I know you've doubted it along the way, but none of it a mistake at all. There's a grace and a beauty to this. There's a deep richness to it. It was like you created the roadmap. More than anything, what would be the destination, which is here right now. And then you integrated it within you. And while your mind may not have remembered it, while things may have happened along the way that you thought surely you'd get pulled off that path, it kept on guiding you to right here. This is your chosen destiny. That's why you're here. You weren't just lucky, and it wasn't because you were so smart. It was because you allowed yourself to come to this point. Feel into your destiny of being here right now. Imagine all the energies it took to get here. Imagine when there's times you doubted so much, when at times you wanted to leave the planet, at times you felt so very, very lost. But yet you had this coding of destiny within you that brought you here. Now comes the time for those of you who have been the realm workers now, particularly in this lifetime, particularly in the past 20, 30 years, you've been very busy in the other realms preparing. You see, it's not just the human that's here on the planet that can balance enough, that can do what's necessary for the apocalypse. It takes the human here, and it takes humans who are here but yet working in the other realms with the angelic beings now. You see, if it was just the human here, they would try to punch through this veil. I would try to break down the wall, and it would never work. They keep punching and trying to break it down, and to no avail. It takes the balance in the other realms as well. You could kind of say a mutual agreement between the heaven of earth and the heaven of the other realms. It's taken Jambra, who have crossed over in this lifetime, Sart, Edith, FM, many others, crossed over to assist with the work in the other realms. It takes both sides to create this opening. Many of you have been the realm workers, helping to prepare, helping to work with these magnetic grids that were brought to the planet, that were adjusted carefully by the Cryon. And it takes the realm workers in the other realms to do their work in preparing. That and all the preparing you've been doing, all the hard work, all of the overcoming the challenges of being in human limitation. It's taken all that to make this possible. But to the realm workers now, to all the realm workers out there, soon it'll be time to come back. Come back into this lifetime fully. So much of your time has been spent in the other realms, so often not taking care of your physical body, not allowing into your mind, not allowing your creativity to come forth, or the expression of your human self to come forth, because you've been focused in the other realms. But now it's going to be time to come back. Your work is going to be done. A lot of it done on March 22nd. Some will continue on through the early part of summer, but prepare to come back now, to be here on the planet, to celebrate with those Shambra and others who haven't been doing the realm work. They've been doing the work here. To celebrate with them and to enjoy your life now. To breathe in the rewards for all the work you've done. It's been done quietly, without acknowledgement from other humans. You've often wondered why your life was like this, why you felt you should be doing something grand, but yet on a human level, you didn't think you were. Feel into it. You've been doing a lot, and it has been very grand. And now it's going to be time to come back here. Bring your light body with you. Bring your Nost with you. Bring the satisfaction of what you've been doing in the other realms with you. You might not remember right now. You might be wondering, what have I been doing? But bring it back with you. You'll remember. You'll know exactly what you've done. Those of you who have been doing the work here on the planet, whether it's things like being part of the Crimson Circle, doing translations, doing the websites on the staff, whether you're simply helping to support all the energies, that work that you've been doing now is paying off. There'll be other work ahead, but it'll be a different type of work. Instead of laying the bricks and the paved stones for the pathway, for the way, now you'll be able to travel that path, enjoy that path. You'll be able to look back along the path that you've helped to build for the others and realize it's truly a golden road. You'll be able to look forward on that path and realize that going forward, it's not a path of suffering and hardship, not a path of challenges and forgetting who you were. Now it's a path that leads into living this life as an abundant master, as a healthy master, and as a very, very wise master. There'll be challenges yet because you're still living in mass consciousness, but you'll realize they're not yours. There'll be people that come along that can be very demanding, very annoying, but you realize that, well, you came from that. You understand that. You have tremendous empathy and understanding. You'll be able to know exactly how to deal with them without you letting them feed on you. You'll know how to say no. You'll know how to shut the door to keep them out when you need your space, which you will need. For all of you who've stayed here on the planet, haven't been doing the realm work, acknowledge what you have been doing, even the work on yourself. But then now, let all of that work you've been doing on yourself, whether it's trying to lose weight, whether it's trying to be a nicer person, whether it's trying to be more spiritual, whether it's trying to smooth off the rough edges, be a better parent, be a better partner, no matter what it is, I ask you to let all of that go now. Let all of it go, especially the part about trying to be more spiritual, trying to be an embodied master. Let all of that go. There's no more work to do on it. There's no more work to do on it. Now it's all about allowing. It's about allowing everything that you have been doing, everything you've been working on. It's about allowing all that suffering, all the hardships, all the confusion. Let that go. Now it's simply about allowing. I know it creates quite a bit different life when you don't have those old challenges. You're not always working on something, but it is a life that you've dreamt about, and now it's here. Let's take a deep breath together. At this eve of the apocalypse, the dream of the Atlanteans, the time of awakening on the planet. Allow in a feeling of accomplishment and satisfaction for everything that you've done, helping to pave this path, first for yourself and then for others, helping to build the way and the way forward. Let yourself feel into that, all of this. Feeling into your own dark night of the soul, what you went through to get here. The others aren't going to have it nearly as interesting as what you've had it. But you know, this was your destiny, your chosen destiny to be here at this time, to pave that pathway, and then to walk it yourself. Take a deep breath in acknowledgement to your human self. And yes, you dove deep, deep, deep into this. So deep you forgot who you really were, but now, on heaven's cross, it opens up. Take a deep breath and allow into that. Each and every day between now and then, allow. Take a moment to feel the tremendous honor and respect from all who are gathered here at the Shoud today. All the grand entities that have come before Crimson Circle, have spoken before them, have attended the gatherings, all the members of the Crimson Council who have been working here with you on Earth, and now ready to depart, to turn it over to you. Now, as you feel into all of this, I want you to feel into your past lives. Oh, they're going through so much right now. You think that they've already lived their life. You think that that lifetime is gone. It's done. It's been had. It's not at all. It's really right in the present. It's right here. It's not a thing of the past. It's just a different expression of your soul. The difference is that you and only you in this lifetime are what Tobias called the designated ascendee. You in this lifetime of yours, is the one that was going to follow the way. That was going to be the one that truly focused on coming to realization. And as you did, all of them started to change. Imagine yourself right now in the center of a circle of all of your past lifetimes, perhaps 1,000, maybe more. They're honoring you for what you've done. And right now, they're going through realization, even though you might say, well, it's a past lifetime, and no, actually, all that changes. They're going through realization. They don't know what they're going through. They know something is changing in their life. They know the very fabric of what you would call time and gravity is shifting so that they're no longer in the past. They're right here. All of the gravitational forces that would have held in their story and held it tight from birth to death are changing. Gravity is releasing, so even the story of that past life is changing right now. Let yourself feel into this, because you've been their guide, their leader. You've been the angel that's visited them in their most difficult times, all the lifetimes. It was you from this present moment that went into the past, visited them, and just shined your light. You didn't tell them what to do. You didn't tell them they were right or wrong. You just visited them and brought them light. You were light from the present moment. It's been difficult in this lifetime because it's not only dealing with your own situation, your own life conditions, but you've been feeling them as well. Their struggles, their burdens, their weight upon your shoulders. It's time for that now to culminate. It's time for that now to integrate. Feel into each and every one of these past lives. Them feeling that something is changing that is beyond their comprehension at the moment. Something deep is shaking them up. It's simply you're allowing, and you're coming to this time of the apocalypse. That's what they're feeling. And what happens in this is they They don't die. They might have, in the old story of their past lives, they might have died in battle, of old age, as a young child from disease. However they died, but now that old story goes away. They don't die. They integrate back into you and to the soul. And you could say, well, if you knew the past lifetime, you could go visit the grave, but that story changes. There's no death. There's no finality. They don't die and go off into the near-earth realms or back into the crystalline realms. They integrate back into the soul. That's what's happening right now with each and every one of them. It's a change in their stories. It's a change in not their experiences, but the perception of their experience, the wisdom, and even their old stories, the ones that were being acted out into the other realms, even their old stories start changing. If you feel into it, there's an amazement in all that happens. You start to realize that nothing is cast in stone. There's even things you did in this lifetime or you thought were done and over with, or just done and still lingering. All that can change. It's been hard to do it up to now, but with Heaven's Cross, it's so much easier. Stories change. Perceptions change. And what happens is all of these old lingering issues, all these seemingly never-ending stories, all the trauma, all the wounds now, they're brought to wisdom. They're brought to wisdom. You see, even things that were in past lives, that past life held on to so much guilt or shame that caused them to hold it, or simply because they felt they had to keep working on a solution even after what they thought was their death. It all changes. They start giving everything up to wisdom of the soul. They stop struggling with it. They stop tormenting themselves. They stop hanging on to it. They stop hiding it. And just like we're going to do in a moment, they release it to the sanctity of their soul, to the wisdom that comes with the soul. That's what they're doing right now as we come to this time of Heaven's Cross. All those unfinished stories, all those old wounds, all those traumas and the doubts and the fears that they bring, your past lives are giving these up to the soul. You see, they're learning that it's not the human that actually can handle these things. It's not the human that can truly transform them. The human can try to counsel and heal. The human can try to smooth out the rough edges. The human can try to bring things to conclusion, have resolution, but they really can't. It's ultimately the soul in all of its wisdom that does it. It's only when the human lets those things go, gives them unto the soul for the cleansing and for the wisdomizing. You've tried so hard, so often to heal, and a lot of it involved a lot of makyo, and it just doesn't work. Now here before the apocalypse, 18 days from now, how about you, the human, right now, do that? How about we all do that together? Feel into this lifetime and all you've gone through, and what a story. Or I should say, what a lot of stories. I think it's now time to release all of that. Every wound that you have, every doubt that you have, every broken heart, every feeling of guilt or shame, every questioning, did you do it right? Every bad score, bad mark you've ever given yourself, every feeling of failure, every feeling of being small, and all that. Lack of self-worth. You're human, you aren't going to solve it. You can play with it as you do. And you know what happens? It just creates stories that goes off into the other realms, and sometimes continuing almost endlessly. Because all this time you've been being called by the soul just to release it, so that the cleansing and the result of the cleansing, the wisdom, can come. You might ask, well, why haven't we just done that? If it's so easy, why haven't we done it? It's because you wanted to continue playing with the story. You wanted to continue feeling what it was like to feel wrong, bad, dark, unworthy. You wanted to hold on to it for the experience, for the depth, for whatever reason, but now you can't go through heaven's cross still holding those things. So let's release them. All of it. Your soul is here right now. It's not in some other far off place. It never has been. It's here right now. It's always been ready, always available for you to let it go. That's all it took. That's all it took. I can hear some of you saying, well, Damas, it can't be that easy. It is. I ask now that you release it, you let it go. You don't even have to know what it is, you just release it. The hurts and the wounds and the anger, the feeling of done something wrong, you can't correct it in your mind. You know that already. But you can release it. And the soul has been waiting, your spirit, the I am, whatever you want to call it, it has been waiting for this, for you to say, I release. I let these things be cleansed. I release them so that they can finally go to wisdom. No good comes from holding on to these things. You're not going to learn anything more. You won't achieve a human level of wisdom by holding on to them. No good comes from it. You just continue carrying the burdens and creating a path forward of even more and more hardship and difficulty. Now, as we come to Heaven's Cross, I implore each and every one of you to release these things, whatever it is. You don't even have to know. All you have to do is allow the release. And let your soul take it from there. Let the soul cleanse it and bring it to wisdom. No, you don't have to keep carrying it, thinking that you must retain these records of what's right and wrong, what you did good and bad. You don't need to do that. Take a good deep breath right now. Feel the presence of your soul. It's right there. Your divinity. Your divinity is the thing between every thought, every memory. It's the thing between every experience that you've had. It's always been there. And now the gravity is lifting so that you can feel it. Now you can release to it. Take a good deep breath. Now comes the time of the apocalypse. And it comes the time of releasing to your soul. Stop hiding it, guarding it, hanging on to it, thinking that you have to learn from it, that you have to carry this burden so you don't do human wrong things anymore. It's time to release it to your soul. And let the soul take it from there. Let the soul cleanse it and bring it to wisdom, and then give it back to you as your divinity. As your divinity. As you walk on the earth as an embodied master, let these things that you've held on to, your grief and your agony and your pain, even your human physical condition, your body, let go of it. Give it unto your soul for cleansing and wisdom. And now, with the apocalypse, what happens is then the soul gives that right back as divinity, as a remembering your divine nature, as a remembering of parts that were long, long forgotten. Don't struggle anymore with trying to fix things. Don't carry the burdens anymore. I mean this literally. I mean everything. Even if you think you have far, far too much junk, darkness, badness, doesn't matter. The soul can handle it. Let's take a deep breath together. At this time of the apocalypse, please give it all unto the soul. The human cannot repair or fix it. The human just simply turns it into another story that's lived out in the other realms without conclusion, without resolution. The same thing is happening right now to all of your past lives. As you release, they release. As you give unto your soul all of the perceptions of wrong and bad and wounds and being weak. As you do this, they do this as well. Oh, you can just feel all of those old stuck energies being released to the soul, cleansed and brought to wisdom. And then given back to each and every lifetime as divinity, given back to you as the most special of all light. You don't have to think about it, work on it. You don't have to go through all the details of your life. It is right now just about releasing these things to your soul. And then allowing yourself back the gift of this light of your divinity into this lifetime. It couldn't come in. It couldn't be here if you were still holding on tight to all of these old things. Let's take a moment just for releasing. Here on the eve of the apocalypse, for releasing. Don't worry about specifically what you're releasing. I feel some of you trying to go through the laundry list in your mind, that long, long list. Don't worry about it. Just release. Be willing to release right now all of that old stuff. Anything that is not in harmony with your true light, that is still within your body or your mind, let it be released right now. Give it unto your soul. It is the greatest thing you can do for yourself and all of your past lives in this moment. I release. I release all things that are not in light, that are not in harmony, that are not in joy in my life. I release. I give it to you, soul. I turn these things over to you. I know that you know what to do because you're my soul. I give these unto you. And then wait. Wait quietly and patiently. You start to feel that stream of light and divinity to come in from March 22nd on into your life. It's everything you've ever experienced, ever done, all the things that your past life have experienced and done now, coming back from the wisdom of the soul, now coming back to you as divinity. So dear Shambhala, all over the world, as we come to this time of the apocalypse, as we are on the eve of the apocalypse, I ask that each day you allow, and as you allow, release. Take a moment or two each day. Come back, listen to this shout again. Allow yourself to release all of these things. Allow back the divinity. The apocalypse isn't a global event, it's a personal event. It will have its effect on the planet in times to come, but right now it's a deeply personal thing. If you're looking for the implications, you're looking for the proof, you're looking for the change, don't look out there. Look right here. That's where it's happening. And it happens when you release. Give all things unto your soul. And let it return with the light of your divine nature on this planet. Let's take a deep breath together. A deep breath together. At this time that has long been prophesied and is now here. Is it real? Give it a try. With that, remember that all is well in all of creation. I am Adamus of Saint-Germain. Thank you.